Hey everyone, Frank here. So we're heading down a pretty steep ore pass today. Unfortunately, I don't have anyone that does rope work that's around here that wants to go with me, so I kind of have to go by myself if I want to explore this. So not a big deal. We're anchored in pretty good, and I thought about this a little bit, and hopefully we'll find a really cool crosscut level. I was just kind of showing you how we got this all anchored. It's kind of overkill. We got three big heavy pieces of railway track there, maybe weigh 100 pounds a piece at least. A big rock in there, it's jammed between there and that rock, and then it's also tied around the rock, so that's probably good for about 1,000 pounds. So, but I definitely want to be careful because your life depends on it. So I'll show you where we are heading down. So it's an ore pass going down fairly steep. So I got a piece of carpet there. We're just going to use that to protect the rope on this edge right there. So we'll put it on as we go down. Now you don't want to use a piece of timber or anything like that because there's always that chance it could fall. I think if that carpet falls on my head, I'll probably survive that. So there's nothing loose there that we've got to worry about, so it's a pretty good place to crawl down. And we're just looking down there, and it's not really that far down, so we'll be going. We'll see what we can find. There we go. So this is where we, that's that little hole we climbed down through. And we came down here, and it didn't look like we were going to have to go too far. And we're hoping this will be a crosscut level. Unfortunately, it wasn't. It's the beginning of a really steep slope that goes down a long ways. It's quite possible that person could safely traverse down here with the equipment that I have, but probably not with the experience that I have. Yeah, so this part, it's not bad. That's kind of something I can do without having to worry, especially me by myself. But now, I've been kind of humming and hawing about this, so soon there's a big rat's nest here. And we'll just put that camera over there and you just see, it goes like straight down. I didn't see a bottom or a ledge or anything down there. It's way down there. You can't even see the bottom there. So, I think that'd be enough for us. We're going to find an easier way to get down to this lower level. I think that's probably just going to go down to a stope that's plugged, or to an ore chute that's plugged, maybe the very first ore chute as we come up. So we don't really need to go down there. I don't think it's going to lead to any crosscut levels. Alright, so we made her back up again. We're safe and sound. So I guess my worst fears came true. Well, not my worst fears. I lost my carpet. No big deal. That's what it's for. It protects the rope as you're going down. If it falls off, well, no big deal. We'll get more carpet. So I'll give you a little peek down there, what we just came up. As you can see, it looks like there's a ledge just down there. But unfortunately, there isn't. It's a long ways down from there. So that's as far as we're willing to go for today, at least anyhow. So let's check out a few other places around here. We're going to leave a little courtesy card here, if the rats don't get it. Couple of old. This just ends here. This is like an exploration drift here. But what we really wanted to show you, we've been here before. It's pretty cool. They seem to be plugged off, eh? These levels going down. And that doesn't go very far along that ledge. A little tricky going along the ledge there. But, yeah, everything's just plugged off here because I guess so much rock falling down here over the years. But it's plugged the ore chutes off. But one thing that's really kind of neat about this mine, well, first of all, it's not very far underground, so you can see sunlight here and there. But look at some of the square set, the timbering and stuff that the miners left behind. Well, platforms, they made their way up as they mined. Brought all their planks up with them. And it goes up to some pretty high levels up there. Huh. We're going to try, there's a very top attic that we haven't been in. We're going to go up there and see if we can get in there. So the older part of the mine, these levels have been the older part of the mine, and they built that big tunnel in the bottom later. So originally they got all the ore from the higher levels, and then they built a big tunnel underneath everything and then dropped it all down. So here's our next target for the day. We're just tying up to this tree here, so I guess they're planning on logging this because They got it all ribboned off here for a little timber sale, I guess, or something. So, alright, so this is the hole. This is kind of a historic access because they have old ladders and stuff here, so it's not just caved in. They had some kind of a thing here, so this looks kind of nice because it's not that steep. I could almost get down without a rope. If you wouldn't want to, you never know. Could get steep. But we got our climbing rigging, so we'll do it the safe way. Well, there we go. It's coming along pretty good. Unfortunately, we ran out of rope, so that's the end of our first rope. Well, you know, it hasn't been too crazy. It goes down. It might get steeper, but it doesn't seem that bad. You know, like this is definitely within our abilities, not nothing really crazy. And it goes down this way, so looks pretty interesting. Haven't seen a crosscut level yet, but we might find something. But we're going to continue on. We're going to go back up actually, and we're going to grab some more rope. Got another bag of rope, and you always wonder how much rope to bring, so you don't want to go any further without any rope. Looks pretty cool here. So I think we're just going to head back and grab some more rope. We're on our way back up to get some more rope. It's not very far from the hole, but we found something kind of cool. That was buried. It's a crosscut level, so we kicked it out, pulled this mud out of there, and now the dirt just came down there and plugged it off. So we're going to go in there and have a look and see where that's going to take us. So that's the way down the main ore pass. And we're going to have a look on this crosscut level first, and then we'll go see if we can get some more rope. So as you can see, it's a little skinny getting out of there, but yeah, we can always kick some more stuff out of there, no problem. So let's go explore this crosscut level. Yeah, the dirt and mud and stuff just came down over the years. And let's make sure there's no there's a dynamite box there. Make sure there's no false floors here. Not sure how you'd make sure of that, but there's some writing there, 806. Quite a few dynamite boxes here. No footprints. So the bad thing is that the water's been going. Well, maybe it's not being able to drain through here, I don't know. That's about as far as it's going to go, I guess. That's the end of her, so. Well, one good thing about coming down all this way is you can't get lost, right? So, yeah, just follow the rope. And actually, not going too bad at all. It's not crazy steep. It just keeps going down, you know, more little levels like that. You see the sign down there says danger. And there's some explosive boxes here. All polar foresight gelatin, all I've ever seen in this mine. So polar 40% CIL. And going this way is just a little bit of a raise here. That ends right there, so we'll continue to make our way down and see what we can find down there. Yeah, so it hasn't been crazy steep or nothing, you know. We've made her down 300 feet so far. We're on our second rope. Our second rope is just done here, so I'm just kind of continuing going down, and not crazy steep or anything like that. It's actually pretty enjoyable. Feel pretty safe there, so we've got a hole to go through, and we'll go down and see what's at the bottom of that hole. Well, this is exciting. We finally reached kind of a main hall level. There's a couple of ore chutes here, which we haven't seen much of, and yeah, that's what the rope we got left. So we're down, oh, I don't know, probably close to 350, 375 feet, somewhere in there. Okay, so not that much vertically because it wasn't straight up and down. So there was obviously a railway here at some time, because we got to see tracks, or not tracks here, but some ties here. A couple of ore chutes, and there's some construction here. Oh, neat. Oh, it's going to say a four-way intersection, but oh, look at, there's an old bottle. Huh? Well, that's a good one, hey? Amazing. Pretty extensive, so you got branch going this way, branch going that way. Oh, cool. Explosive box. I think I'm going to take my, I'll take my climbing rigging off and leave it right here because it's not comfortable walking around with this strap deal like this. It's much more comfortable just walking without it. Oh wow, there's sure a lot of different branches in here though. Alright, so right hand rule. We shall go down the right hand one first. I'm guessing that there's another adit that I haven't seen before. And we're going to find that, and it'll be a lot easier way of getting in here than climbing down 300 feet of rope, would be my prediction. But that's okay, that's a good way to find stuff. There's a lot of different ways to find stuff. You get your GPS, got dumb luck. The coordinates sometimes from documentation that you find online, and lots of times you find stuff in Google Earth. But yeah, you see some tailing somewhere or some mine waste somewhere and follow it down, and you can usually find an adit. So I'm thinking this is probably the main haul level from the historic part of the mine. Certainly a lot of branches here. So there's probably a pretty rich area for gold here because they did so much tunneling in here. All the little short adits are chasing little veins and stuff. So this is one of the richest gold mines in this whole area. They had some just tremendous ore in here. And they spent lots, before you start asking me, see any more gold in here, or what I discovered, they spent a lot of money trying to find more. 1932, I believe, was the richest year they had here. They made a crazy amount of money. But all the ore ran out in 1932. And in 1933, they spent a crazy amount of money drilling all over the place, doing lots of exploration, trying to find some more veins and stuff. 1946. So we're getting close to the end here. 1937. Because that's usually where you always see this at the end. So in 1933, they spent a big year for exploration, but didn't find anything, and it never really got mined since. Some companies around did make a pile of money mining tailings here, but what, kind of a sad story with that. They had a breach in their tailings pond. They used cyanide to leach the gold out and killed all the fish in Burl Creek. It was an environmental disaster. Basically, the government had to come in and fix all that. And that's about all they've done here since. Yeah, all kinds of little branches that don't go very far at all. And I don't know what these would have been exploration to try to find some parallel veins, or if there's actually ore-bearing material. One or to other. Yeah, lots and lots of tunnels in a small little area. They're not going in very far. Almost seemed like the kind of place you'd get lost, but it's never really happened to us before, so it shouldn't happen now. Well, sometimes you're temporarily displaced. Huh. What does that say? It's a tobacco can. Oh, well, that's fallen off fairly recently. Well, I think we're going to be running. Oh, look how red this ore is in here now. different type of a zone for sure. It's more like a coppery or iron. Had a magnet, I could check it out. Yeah, it should be sealed though. It's soft, boy, is that ever red. Let's see if it's heavy. Nope, it's quite light for the size of it. Real crumbly. It's not a good place to build tunnels. Soft, crumbly, and light. None of them things that miners like. So this is going to be the end of this part anyways. I don't think we're going to get much further. There's an old bench there. And I wonder if somebody was picking away at this or if it just collapsed. Ah, there we go, 1942. So that's... So in 42 they didn't really mine here then. They were just, just back in here doing some sampling and as they always do, trying to find something else. Well, if you're claustrophobic and be thinking, well, good thing it wasn't me, but so I went through this pretty tight spot here. This is actually not the tight spot. This is the big cavern in behind there. But it kind of kept going, and I figured there was an overpass here. I made it through here. I'm on my back, just laying down because there's not enough room. Show you how skinny it is, actually. Well, this isn't even the skinny part, but so there. This is the wide spot where I was able to turn around. But coming from that way, it was real skinny. I could just barely get through. So hopefully I'll get back out again. This won't be the last video you ever see. It's not really dangerous. I mean, I can move a few rocks this way. There's room here. So unfortunately, that's as far as we're going to get on this hall level. And we're going to start climbing back up, and there's some cool stuff on the way. We've seen on the way in that goes down, so we'll go chase that down, see what we can find. Okay. Alright. So, this is the skinny part. In through here. Yeah, so we made it past this big pile of this. A lot of workings here. We'll kind of get through them here. Be really careful where you're stepping here because there's false floors here. And it's really steep and all kinds of hazards here. There's a pillar there. So yeah, there's a false floor there. Obviously, you want to trust that, right? Look at where they've mined that stope here. It goes up a long ways. Big, long, skinny boy, a lot of... There's a ladder here going to the top. Here. Got a rope. And would you trust that rope? Not a bloody chance. A ladder and a rope. Going up to that top stope up there. Maybe there's another level up there, I don't know. I wouldn't be going up there, so this is a big ore pass here. It goes in a long ways. Or goes down a long ways. Pretty cool looking ore pass. Looks like it might be a little newer, I don't know, it's hard to say. What do we got here? Oh, it's just an old glove. So there's that ore pass. So it goes down pretty good there. Railway there? No, it's not a railway. Oh, that didn't go any further up. Okay. I didn't put that blue paint there. Somebody else has got blue paint. Now, I'll have a look along here and see what we can find. So this isn't the false floor here. Oh, this is old, eh? Yeah. No water. The rope going further down. That doesn't look crazy steep. There's a crosscut level. We've got another rope of our own, so if we want to go down there, we'll just tie our own rope up. We want to be trusting them old. Goes down a long ways, but it doesn't seem real steep, you know, it's just kind of gradual clunk, clunk, clunk. Oh, there's a crazy amount of tunnels here. Feeling a good breeze here, and my monitor has been quiet. There's a rope going down there. Well, it looks like it goes down a long ways. Yeah, it does, but it's not really steep. That rope might still be good even. I don't know if I trust it. Let's go down this crosscut here and see what we got. I think we're going to have to come back here. It seems to be pretty extensive. We go down quite a bit further. This mine's a lot more extensive than I thought. You know, I thought it was pretty big before, you know, because it goes up through that big crack all the way up to the top of the mine, quite a few feet of vertical development. But I had no idea all these crosscuts were in here. And this is the higher levels in the mine here, so there's quite a bit more to the mine that I hadn't seen. You feel a pretty good breeze there. There's probably going to be a false floor there, eh? Huh. Oh, there are lots of places to go yet. I'm just going to check out some of these few of these crosscut tunnels, and then we're going to have to come back and do a real thorough explore of this mine. Kind of interesting. It's not, you know, just terrible steep or anything. This part of it. I think there must be another adit that I've never seen before around here somewhere. The wind howls through here. So here's a little area here that seems to be blocked, or it's ended. They mined in here, and there's an ore pass going down. And did see a little daylight there, so we've been to the bottom when you're just looking up this massive thing. So we're going to roll a boulder down there. Hello, there's a rock coming. Run, Kevin. Oh, there's no Kevin here, just me. You never know, somebody could be hiking around there, right? Yeah, pretty interesting area of the mine. Like I said, the wind's just howling through here, but it's going out here, that's why. So that's the end of this part. We went quite a long ways, actually. We were rolling the whole way, so there's nothing. But the wind's howling pretty good. So, yeah, lots of interesting places to explore in here. There's another stope that goes down. That, again, not really crazy steep. There's a rope in there, it's a little newer. But, you know, that might be like 50 years old. There we go. Stopes going everywhere, up, down, sideways. But, yeah, I don't know. I think I'd rather bring my own ropes than to trust them ones. That'd be an interesting one to go check that. Yeah, maybe it doesn't go too far. I'll just go a little ways there and die out. Lots of stuff going down every direction. Pretty irregular formation. Pretty neat pillar there. And them guys sure must have known what they were doing when they built all this stuff, eh? Alright, well, I guess we're gonna pack our stuff up and our ropes and make the climb out of here. Alright, well, there's a ladder that's, I'd say, a little sketchy, eh? Pretty steep slope, eh?
On the top of a chute there going straight up. Look at them ladders, eh? They got ropes on them, but yeah, who knows how old them ladders are. And then there's, yeah, there's the steep part there. Well, got a kind of a neat box, and what's neat about it is if you look on the top left corner there, it says 1932. Got the date on it. Quite a few ladders and stuff in here. There's big walls that they built, I guess, to keep all the ore coming down this part, and then there's a whole bunch of ladders on the way to the top. They look a little sketchy though. Well, we're down there. It's not too crazy steep. You can just kind of make your way down. You know, as long as you got a rope, it's all right. A big compartment here. Well, there's nothing happening here except rats breeding. No, yeah, lots of little cool other ways you can go to check stuff out. Little branches, you can go up that way. Maybe see if we can get up further up that way. I don't know if you can or not. That's where we came from. You see our rope going up there. It's not frightfully steep there. Alright, so there's quite a few more workings in here. And, you know, some of it can be difficult to access. And some of it's not going to be too bad. So as we get further back in here, there's some more ore chutes. This is another kind of quite a few levels that they, crosscut levels that they had probably ore carts on, that they dumped the ore down these passes. So as we go along here, there's a crosscut here, just an exploration tunnel going both ways. So there must have been some pretty rich ore right in this area, and they're just chasing the vein and see if they can pick it up somewhere, I guess. And then it goes on, and it's not really that steep, but we're just running out of time. I've been underground for a lot of hours today, and we'll come back another day and continue on checking a whole bunch of these out. Looks like it's pretty extensive, so we'll have to return another time.